We have our image here that we worked on earlier in the previous lessons, skin retouch example.tiff. And if you might remember when I did the retouching on it and I corrected her skin tone, I actually went in and I obliterated her blush, her makeup that was there. So I want to go back in and add that color back and show you just a couple of other little things with this image before we're completely finished with it. So I have my image open and I'm going to apply some blush to her face and do it just in the same way that I corrected the skin tone. I'm going to go down here and make an adjustment layer. It's going to be a solid color adjustment layer. And actually, I had already pre-selected the blush. Let me click on cancel. And let's talk about that just for a quick moment here. What I did was I actually brought my swatch palette, again, using the large list selection, so that I've got big color blocks and a description. And I actually just went through the blushes and kind of figured out what I thought would look what would look nice. And I thought actually something that was close to the color of these roses that she's holding would actually look kind of nice for a blush. And actually that was the color that my wife had put on as the makeup originally. My wife is the makeup artist. Her name's Lisa, by the way. So anyways, I thought that this color right here, blush number 13, I thought that matched real well to these dried roses that she's holding. So let's go ahead and just move that swatches palette back over here, kind of out of the way. And I'm just going to remember blush 13 is the one I want to use. So again, let me go back and click on solid color. And I get the eyedropper tool. I click on that blush 13. And that's the color I end up selecting. Click on OK. And I need to change this color blend mode. Let's try hue first. And let me take now a look at color. And we're going to stick with hue. Okay. Now I want to make this layer mask black so that I haven't colorized everything in the image. So I'm just going to go up to Edit, Fill, under Content, use black. Click OK. So now I can just paint with a big soft white brush. I want it hardness down to 0. That's good. Make sure that my foreground color here is set to white, which it is. And I'm going to just paint on her face here. And it's going to be a little bit extreme at first, but don't worry, we're going to fix that by changing the opacity of the layer. And we're just going to paint over what's it's called the apple of her cheek. And that's just the highest point on the cheek. We're just going to go from that point back like that. Same on the other side. And let's make that just a little bit bigger. There and back. And again, it looks very fake because the opacity is just set way too high. And now I'm just going to lower this opacity by quite a bit. Take it way down. I think I've got a little bit of too much blush going a little too high here, so I'm going to switch back to my layer mask and hit the letter X, so that now I have black as my foreground color that I'm painting with, and I'm just going to go back here and put a little bit of black to hide that little bit of excess. And it went a little too far down here as well. Good. And that's it. I've just applied the blush. And I could go in and do that the exact same way if I wanted to completely change her lip color or just change the color anywhere on her body if I needed to. And I've got all these different colors you can play around with, makeup colors, all these different blush colors, eyeshadow colors. I could go in and do the same thing to her eyeshadow. And again, lip color. I've got all these different lip colors you can play around with. And that pretty much covers adding some blush or digital makeup.